Brethren, I pray you sing a new song. Sing praise in the assembly of the righteous. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let the high praise of God be on the mouths of the saints and a two-edged sword in their hands to execute vengeance on the demonic nations and punishments on those peoples, to bind their kings with chains. Dishonor have all his saints. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Sing to him a new song.
All right, somebody can give me 1 Corinthians real quick. Hold on. So I already got it right here too. So we're gonna show y'all that YAHAWASHI, who the word ignorant calls Jesus Christ, is actually Adam. So let me see. Yeah, 1445. Somebody give me Wisdom of Solomon 10:1. Somebody give me that. But first I want Luke 3:38. Well, really, no, second Ezra 3:31. 3:21, so I'll get that one. Yeah. We'll read that next. Yeah. So this is showing y'all that YAHAWASHI, who the word ignorant calls Jesus Christ, was actually Adam in the regeneration.
This is second Ezra chapter 3 and verse 21. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed and was overcome. For the first Adam bearing a wicked heart transgressed and was overcome.
It said for the first Adam. So where's the second Adam? You know, it said it was for the first Adam was overthrown, or bearing a wicked heart.
So be all they that are born of him. Thus,
so be all they was born of him. So go to, I believe it's like Ezra 3. It said the mustard seed or the grain that was sown in the hearts. I think it's in 4, but yeah, go to 4. The next page, so like it.
This is second Ezra chapter 4 and verse 30.
So the first man Adam, you know, because people don't hear that there was a first man Adam. So it got to be another Adam, or somebody had to be Adam. So it was the first man Adam. He was overthrown by a seed that was sown in his mind. We're gonna read about that, right?
For the grain of evil seed hath been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness hath it brought up until this time.
Right, that was an evil seed sown in the mind of Adam from the beginning. That's why it was already set up in the spirit for us to go off and for us to go through what we go through. I did a whole breakdown on this in class one day, talking about that straight or narrow gate that leaded to life, because the entrances of the elder word was wide and sure. Everybody was living to almost 1,000 years. Adam died at 970, I believe. You got people living, long and beautiful lives. Now, hey, you barely getting over 21. We got people like, I don't know if I'm gonna see 21. We don't know what can happen. Anybody can die any day. But you have people living for hundreds of years. So finish it up.
And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come? Ponder now by thyself how great fruit of wickedness the grain of evil seed hath brought forth.
You gotta ponder how much wickedness this evil seed hath brought forth. Think about how much more wicked are we as a people today, as the world is today. It brought forth so much wickedness. So you got 1 Corinthians, or you got a precept?
I got a quick precept on that one. So this is Genesis 6:3. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. Yet his days shall be 120 years. So you had men who was living, like he said, almost to 1,000 years. But man's wickedness kept abounding because that one grain, that one seed of wickedness was sown in Adam's heart. So he had to shorten the days of men and how long. He had to put a cap on it to how long men could actually live for.
So right, he knew that man was of the flesh. That was of the world. And we are we in slavery. Our spirit is in slavery to our flesh. By our flesh, that's how we go off. That's why you got to be led by the Spirit upon faith in this truth. So it said, go back to 2 Ezra 3:21. Read that one more time. So like it. Precept. So right, man, that's why we got to be led by the Spirit upon coming into this truth. We can't be doing no works of the flesh, fulfilling the lust thereof. Read.
Come on, this is the book of Sirach, chapter 18 and verse 9. The number of men's days at the most are 100 years.
Right, that's him capping our lifespan. He said the number of the man's days are 100 years. You know, because he said the spirit of the Lord should not always dwell with men. You know. So read 2 Esdras 21 real quick. Go back to it.
This is 2 Esdras, chapter 3, verse 21. For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed, and was overcome. And so be all they that are born of him.
All them that was born of Adam, they're going to be overcome too. So it said for the first man, Adam, bearing a wicked heart. So now we're going to, you got a precept real quick? All right, come.
God, this is 2 Esdras 4 and 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou ask me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. If therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So that goes into it's all through the Spirit. The Most High God ordained it from that, ordained it like that from the beginning. It had to happen. So it says, for the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning, and how much ungodliness have it brought up unto this time, and have much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come. And that goes also into the Most High God using the wicked to he using evil spirits to punish other people that he wants to punish. Let me get this precept one second.
That's going into, he said, until the time of threshing come. You know, that's going into when the last day, the day of judgment, when the cup of Babylon or the sins of Babylon have reached into heaven. When it's when he's like, hey, enough is enough now. You know, that's the time of threshing.
God, this is Sirach chapter 39 and 28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of their destruction, they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. So that's that wicked seed that was sown in Adam at the beginning. The Most High God had a purpose for it all along. It says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction.
Okay, so read 2 Esdras 3:21 again. We got 1 Corinthians. All right, go.
This is 2 Esdras, chapter 3, verse 21. For the first Adam, bearing a wicked heart, transgressed, and was overcome. And so be all they that are born of him.
We understand that it was the first Adam. So give me Wisdom of Solomon 10:1. But now read that.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 45. And so it was written, the first man Adam,
It's written, the first man Adam, which we just read in 2 Esdras.
and so it is written, the first man Adam was made a living soul.
That's going back to Genesis 2:7, when he brought that man up from the dust of the ground and breathed into him the breath of life. He gave him the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That's what he gave him. That's what that breath of life was, that wisdom. So right, the first man Adam was made a living soul.
The last man, Slakia, the last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
He said the last Adam was made a quickening spirit. Who was the last Adam? Who do we know as the Word today? YAHAWASHI, right. So YAHAWASHI is known as the Word. What did the Word do to you? It quickens you. Give me John 6:63. Come on.
This is the book of John, chapter 6, verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth, the flesh profiteth nothing. The words I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
The words I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. It's the spirit that quickeneth you. So that last Adam was made a quickening spirit. That last Adam was YAHAWASHI. He was coming back to bring us out of his fall, which you about to read. So read that.
This is the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 1. She preserved the firstborn father of the world that was created alone and brought him out of his fall.
Right, he's talking about wisdom. It say she preserved the firstborn father of the world. It's talking about Adam and brought him out of his fall. So when was Adam brought out of his fall? When he came back as YAHAWASHI. When he redeemed himself in the sins of the people. Because Adam went off too. So he had to come back and redeem himself. But he had to come who as he truly was. What's up?
This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 14. And the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
He said the Word was made flesh. So that's a precept going back to that the words I speak to you, they are spirit and they are life. It's the word that quickened them. So he said the word was made flesh. That's talking about YAHAWASHI. We know he was made flesh. Give me precept Isaiah, I think 6:9 or 7:9. Somebody. You say that the word was made flesh. It's talking about YAHAWASHI, who the word ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. I believe for 6:9. 7:9. Oh. No, 6:9 then. Shit, I can't got it. But it's talking about the governor should come out of, you know, basically. Yeah. So that's what you try to point. Okay, 9 and 6. Got it back.
Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 9, verse 6. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
Right, all these names and these terms are synonymous for YAHAWASHI. These are the terms that he was called. So he said, read the first sentence, the line.
Salakia. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given.
Right, that's the word being made flesh. That's Adam coming back as YAHAWASHI coming back to redeem us and bring.
This is just proving regeneration because I think it was me and Anal going over this, and this is the book of Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1. I'm gonna go to verse 1 real quick so we can get it understanding. It says verse 1, Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. All right, so this is David speaking, right? Let's see what David said. Solomon, the son, Salakia. All right, so we're going to go to 3 verse 3. Oh, I'm going to go to 3 and 16. It says, and moreover, I saw under the sun a place of judgment that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness that iniquity was there. And I said in my heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked of there is a time there for every purpose and for every works. So he's saying that he saw under the sun a day of judgment. You see what I'm saying? So that just shows you Solomon being regenerated and being here in the last days. You see what I'm saying? So he's already, according to the narrative already, Solomon already died. But he's talking about he saw a place of judgment under the sun. So how can he see the place of judgment if he's not coming back? You see what I'm saying?
Okay, so right, so we got the word was made flesh. So we got the first man Adam, and we read for 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 45. For the first man Adam was made a living soul, but the last man Adam was made a quickening spirit. So we understand that last man Adam was YAHAWASHI, who was actually the first man Adam also. So the nation of Israel started with Adam. It started with YAHAWASHI. It's going to end with YAHAWASHI. He the one that caused us to go off or fall, and he the one that redeemed us and bringing himself out of the fall and bringing us out of the. Read that again. So again.
This wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 1. She preserved the firstborn father of the world that was created alone and brought him out of his fall.
Right. Wisdom preserved the firstborn father of the world that was created alone, because we understand. Go to Colossians 1 and 15 real quick. We're gonna get who the firstborn father of the world was. We're gonna get into Colossians real quick. So he was created alone, and wisdom brought him out of this fall. Colossians chapter 1 and verse 15. Or you can go straight to the point where he was the firstborn of every creature.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 1, verse 15. Who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature.
He was the firstborn of every creature. It's talking about YAHAWASHI. So that's the firstborn father of the world that she preserved, and she brought him out of his fall when he came back as himself and died for the sins of the people and also the sins that he committed in his past life. You know, when you actually start understanding regeneration, you understand that you come back on the earth throughout different generations. Give me Ecclesiastes, I believe 1 and 18. It's letting you know that you don't have no remembrance of those things though, or your past life. You don't have any remembrance. That's why you get these things called deja vu. You feel like this happened before, but you don't know. That might be, you know, some people say that might be something that happened in your past life. But that's why you have those certain events that happen.
Walk sign is on to cross.
Ecclesiastes 1. Are you good? Hey, get Bible too. Go to look for him.